Hey, you made it. Come on in and join me. I'm Angela, and this is me making sense of myself. I'm super glad you're here. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button so you can follow the adventure as it unfolds. And if you love this podcast, share it with your friends. You have the capacity to understand yourself, and that's through connecting with it and understanding other people. These are some of my stories. This week's topic was about finding bravery when feeling intimidated. In the first video, I talked about when I felt intimidated. In the next video, I talked about how I shifted from feeling intimidated to finding my bravery. Next, I focused on bravery. And then we meditated, and in today's video, which I lovingly call the Fridity or the Friday Ditty, I'm going to share with you a parable or a poem about this week's topic, finding bravery when feeling intimidated, along with explaining what happened inside of me. So, let's get to it. This week, you get a parable. Once upon a time, in a beautiful village, there lived a wise old oak tree. The oak tree was known for its strong roots and the wisdom it shared with the creatures of the forest. One day, a young sapling approached the old oak tree and asked, "How can I become strong and wise like you?" The wise old oak tree replied, "Patience, little one. Patience and perseverance are the secrets to my strength and wisdom." The sapling was bewildered. "But how can waiting and effort make me stronger and wiser?" it asked in confusion. The old oak tree smiled and said, "Find the courage to endure the storms that come your way, for they will test your roots and make them grow deeper. Embrace the changes of the seasons, for they will teach you patience and resilience. Stand tall and steady, and you will find that strength and wisdom come from facing the challenges of life with bravery and perseverance." And so, the young sapling learned that finding courage and strength in times of intimidation is a journey that leads to growth and wisdom. From that day on, the oak tree's wisdom was cherished by all the creatures of the forest, for it taught them the value of embracing challenges and finding courage in times of intimidation. So, I want to talk a little bit about the feeling of intimidation. I think that for me, I know for me, I can feel intimidated by people, I can feel intimidated by situations, and I can feel intimidated sometimes just by trying to learn something. And I think what comes with that is this idea that I'm not capable of learning or handling what is happening in that particular moment, or thinking I should be more than I am. And that's not necessarily true. You know, my pain has taught me so much. As many of you know, I have complex regional pain syndrome, and my pain can be intimidating. I think it's super intimidating, usually at times when I think I should not have it, when that pain is wrong to have, or, I'm going to church or to a meeting or something, and I think that I'm not going to be able to handle it. And many times that intimidation can be debilitating, because instead of just accepting it for what it is in that moment and accepting my humanity in that moment, I try to change it. And that's not always the most helpful thing to do. So, like I said, intimidation can happen anywhere. People can intimidate us. Socially, we can feel intimidated by the amount of people. Heck, I can feel intimidated when my caregiver's driving down the road and I'm nervous because I don't have control in that moment. So I think perhaps even intimidation can happen when I feel like I'm not in charge, or when I feel like I don't have the capacity to deal with what's really happening in that moment. Now, a lot of people use intimidation to get what they want. So sometimes they'll raise their voice, or they'll make themselves bigger than they really are, or they'll call up like this confidence. And maybe in some ways they're certain that what they're doing is the right thing, and that's okay. It's what do I do when I have that sense of intimidation? Am I going to bow down and just let them take over, especially if I think something is wrong or they're doing the wrong thing or the belief might not be one that I am in alignment with. So I think that a lot of times when I'm intimidated, it's usually because I'm not listening to what's happening. And I have to admit, I'm certain I've used intimidation. I think we all have. We're all human. And sometimes, of course, I want people to do what I think they should be doing. And many times I have this idea that if they would just do what I'm doing, what I think they should do, that their life will be better. And that's not true. So I think that, if I catch myself in that situation where I'm deciding to push my agenda on someone else, that I need to take that as a sign that I'm starting to use intimidation, and I'll need to back off of that. So it's important for us to know what we stand for. So like that intimidation, maybe sometimes I will have to push my agenda, and because it's just that important. But if I choose not to use intimidation, maybe I'll use like long suffering and patience and things like that with people, but I'll know that this is the path. So I don't have to make other people feel icky about their choices or their beliefs or their this or that. I can ask better questions. I can get to know their perspective, because sometimes, especially if I'm in a situation where I'm thinking I know what's best, they have information that I don't have, and they might be able to enlighten me. So I've got to be willing to ask questions. So I think that for me, bravery is something that comes from within. And I think it also comes with that willingness to sense the intimidation and to be vulnerable and say, I'm not really sure what it is you want from me right now. Or I might just call it out and say, look, it really seems like you want me to do X right now, and that's not what I feel called to do. I need to do Y. There's something inside of me. And I think that there's a real important being honest with myself and with those around me is brave, and saying, hey, no, I don't want to do that, because not because I'm feeling intimidated, but because it's not the right way to go. Then, and maybe that sense of intimidation is telling me that, oh, that's not the right way to go for me. And that's when I need to call on that bravery and really just be strong. So one of the other things I really want to point out about bravery is that you can't be brave without an obstacle or a challenge or a struggle. It just doesn't happen. Bravery only shows up in those moments. And it means that you're facing something perhaps that you haven't faced before. Or maybe something is very important to you, and you need that bravery to get through or to accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. And sometimes goals can be intimidating, and it takes bravery to say, well, this is the goal I set, this is the heading that I'm going, and I'm going to fulfill that goal. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to keep going when things get hard. So some people think that bravery requires confidence. I'm not sure that's true. I think bravery is something that's inside of us. I don't think that my bravery does not mean that I'm definitely going to succeed at the task at hand. And I think that confidence has, when using the word confidence, that I can be confident in something and also not be brave. And I think I can also be brave in something and have confidence. Like confidence might be along there somewhere, but I don't think it's necessary. Now, one of the other things that I think is really important too about bravery is that I can't judge what someone else's bravery is. So, for instance, I might know someone who's afraid of going into crowds, and for them it takes a tremendous amount of bravery just to leave the house. Well, for me, going out of the house is something I enjoy doing, or coming on camera. Some people are terrified of coming on camera, and while I can do this, I wasn't always comfortable with it. And, so if somebody else came along and they were like, oh, I can't do that, or they do it, they're like, oh my gosh, did you see that? It was so cool. I was so brave. Just trust them that they're telling you what their bravery is. Like, let's believe in and trust that people are telling us what's really happening inside of them. So, one of the other notes that I put here was, I might need bravery to embrace my awkwardness and you might not. Or I might not need it for awkwardness and you might. It just depends. So I think that bravery, again, is in the eye of the beholder. So in closing, through intimidation, we uncover our might and emerge stronger, shining bright. So let's embrace the fear, no matter how grave, for within that challenge, we're given the chance to be brave. Like, share, comment below. Let me know what topics you'd like me to explore next. Remember to subscribe to Me Making Sense of Myself for weekly doses of information and self-discovery. If you have a question, send it over. I'll answer it. Let's do this together. I'm Angela, and this is me making sense of myself.